So let's just start there. Let's just start with then if you look into the camera, they'll think you're looking right away. So anyway, just start with how you got homeless in the first place.
Well, my name's Angel, and I'm a mother, single mother, and I'm disabled, but I don't let that stop me from being who I am. I am homeless because of, honestly, how would you put it? His son is landlord, and a criminal justice system that is broken. And how you say? I was living in Murray, Utah for 3.5 years, and on my own with my son. I acquired a 2-bedroom, 2-bath on my own, and I have actually been homeless as of April 5 of 2021. I was evicted from my home over a refrigerator. A refrigerator that is the landlord's responsibility to, if there's an issue, they either have to repair it or they replace it. I had this refrigerator for 3.5 years. I am the model tenant. If something's broke, I fix it myself. I don't go to management bothering them. I went to them though, because a lot of issues are my responsibility, but when it's a refrigerator, I am protected under Utah renters' rights.
Sure.
Okay. Or I thought so. I let the landlord know I used to actually live at the Rent Gate Apartments. It's on 237 District Edgeway, Apartment 11, or 300 West and 4500 South. And I reached out to the landlord. Her name is Jordan Autry, and she never returned a phone call, an email, a message.
So your fridge didn't work this whole time?
Right. It started actually going out, I would say October-ish, September to early October. And I actually even called the after hours number for emergencies. I thought that it was an emergency. It just
Sure.
working.
It was an emergency.
And I never even got a phone call back from the maintenance guy. His name is Sunday. This is more, I wouldn't say complicated, but it's common sense. If your tenant has an issue, it's your job in your job description to reach back out and see what is wrong.
Sure.
Okay. 1 day equals 1 week. 1 week, 3 weeks, nothing. No phone call, no, nothing. So, and keep in mind, this landlord, Jordan, I have never met her in my life. So
Now you're with a son also
yeah,
in your apartment.
Yes, he is 12 years old, and I wish to keep his identity secret.
Still, but the fridge being out affected his food.
Right, and we actually had to remove our food that never went bad, and we had to place it outside. Okay, keep in mind you would eat this food, so is that okay? Of course it's not. And I was happy though that in this area it was cold, and I myself took the initiative as any mother would, or as any single father would. And I found a way myself to replace a refrigerator that obviously is not here. And it is not my responsibility to replace.
Fix it anyway, right?
Right. And if you guys know, when you're in an apartment, the standard refrigerator is about high, white, Whirlpool. The one that I replaced is 2 times that big. It's side by side.
A lot better fridge.
Stainless, yes. Stainless
Steel.
steel. Have you ever went into an apartment and had one of a kind of refrigerator? No. Okay. So I reached out once again to Mrs. Autry of the Front Gate Apartments to December 16th of 2020. And I must have been a nuisance because I called her and she just happened to be off from work. And she answered the phone. And normally I wouldn't record my conversations, but as a mother with a really amazing intuition, I did. And
so you got a recording of this conversation.
I did, and I actually want to go on record that if 2 people are having a conversation,
only one has to know.
And it is not illegal.
Right, I know that.
And a lot of moms and dads don't know this, but may I say, use it in the right way. How I did. Not on your ex.
So how did she actually end up kicking you out?
We had a almost 20-minute conversation about the infestation of roaches that I and all of the other tenants had to deal with. And I was not informed of that when I moved in or when I was signing the original
Lease agreement.
They never told me. So, what happened was 2 days later, after this conversation, no, one day, I'm sorry, I get woken up by a knock on my door as if the house was on fire. It was Mrs. Daughtry, or Gordon, and it was 9 a.m. and there is no reason for this harassing, unprofessional behavior. He is in a job title that also if you read renters' rights, it says in there that she and all landlords are to attempt to maintain a civil attitude, if you will, with their tenants.
Sure.
Because we live in a world where hate is a big thing, and that's not okay. Okay, she knocking on my door the day after the conversation, and in the conversation she only acknowledged how long the broken refrigerator has been outside of my door. Why is that my fault when you refuse to do your job and
Fix it.
Fix
Or
it?
replace it.
Right. Why are you coming at me in a hostile way in front of my son and in front of company that also witnesses this behavior? So he was yelling at me from the beginning. He was asking me questions, and I was trying to answer them. But if you guys notice, I have a speech disability, and that she took advantage of. See, when I was brought into this beautiful country, I actually wasn't. I was head on delivery with the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. I was unconscious, and I was purple and blue. Well, incidentally, purple is my favorite color. But so I was in the Houston ICU for 5 months on machines that breathe for me and everything imaginable. I'm a twin, and my twin is a brother, and he was perfect, thank God. And I wouldn't ever wish this on nobody, not even my enemies.
Let's get back to why she evicted you.
She knocked on my door, yelling at me for how long the refrigerator was there, and it was an eyesore, and it shouldn't have been removed out of my home. Well, it was an electrical issue after a while because the refrigerator would leak from the freezer to the refrigerator to underneath it, and it had roaches going in and out of the refrigerator. So I did the right thing, and I would do it again for the safety of my son, to have it nicely taken outside and put right there for the management team to
Deal
do
with.
whatever. Okay. So I was trying to answer her questions, but he was being discriminated against how I speak. So one of my you know how when your visitors are there, you're responsible for what they do. So he was just trying to have her respect me by jumping in for me, and this made her even more mad. So she threatens us with Murray PD to have him trespassed on the property for no reason.
Your visitor.
Right. And lo and behold, all the cops, Murray PD, and in one scenario, I want to thank them for doing the right thing, because this I did with us, and she came at us, and he was being discriminated against myself. And then next day, there's a eviction orders on my door. And the reason at first was he had no reason, because sadly, Utah, you don't need a reason to throw a family, especially a innocent one, out on their butts.
And disabled at that.
Right. And he knew that I had no way to have help, if you will, with anything. So he thought that they could advantage of my disabilities.
Sounds to me like she broke the law and you're the one that paid for it.
Oh, it gets worse. When I just did what any normal innocent person would do, and I fought my eviction because I didn't do anything wrong. The refrigerator was actually disposed of, and she blamed that on myself. At first, she said that it was me, myself, and my superpowers to throw a refrigerator away. And then it was my entourage. Okay, so is it me or is it them? Which one is it? See,
What difference does it make anyway?
it makes a difference because her story keeps changing, and so we go to court, and I am represented by the Disability Law Center, and I go on record to say that I was misrepresented by them. They never said for the record that I had witnesses to back my side up and my side's the truth.
So you never got to tell your story.
Nobody listened, but Mrs. Autry lied under oath and stated that she wasn't ever aware of my refrigerator being broken.
Even for months,
I never told her.
she said.
Right. But the maintenance guy was upstairs one day fixing up that apartment, and you have to walk by my house to go up. So how is the management not aware of it? My witness actually spoke to the maintenance guy herself, and he told her that he would come back down and take care of it.
So he knew.
Yeah, he never disposed of it. But my stove also was out there right by the refrigerator, and he took that upstairs without even telling me why. So now Gordon is trying to have me be responsible for a stove and a refrigerator. Well, the maintenance guy brought my stove back down because he wasn't supposed to take it in the first place. On this recording, he says that her maintenance guy, there was no way that he would have taken it. He was only more concerned about myself paying her for it. Okay? And so we're in court, and she swears that she has no idea. How is that possible when we had a 20-minute conversation 2 days before?
You got proof.
I do.
And you got proof that she lied under oath.
I do, and
you was illegally evicted.
And he also admitted forgery as well as fraud, because the lease that she provided was a month lease. Okay, I had housing. Okay, I had Section 8 housing, and I waited 5.5 years for my name to come up on housing list. And no matter if you're evicted, if it's your fault or not, you automatically lose your housing. Okay?
You've been screwed over big time. I'm going to put this video to a stop right now because it's been kind of long, but we covered one topic, and it's clear that you've been screwed over. And anybody that watches this video is going to be able to see that.